I'm what you would call a lazy son of a bitch. There are only a few things in this world that would appeal to me, and the effort itself to pursue one of these passions is not a part of those several things. So, because I don't have the will to go out and frolic like a fucking tool through a thunderstorm fresh field of tulips and daisies, which, let's be honest here, I haven't done anything outdoor related in several years, I sit in front of my prestigious TV. I mean, it's nothing new or fancy. At my most generous, I guess, it would probably be 12 inches. The upside, though, is that it's a flat screen. It also has satellite TV, which is another thumbs up, I guess. Now, sitting your ass in front of an idiot box won't get you any success. It won't get you a better social life, and it sure as shit won't get you laid. But it has shown me many awful things that I'll be able to keep with me. And I always remember one program in particular that had me out of my seat going through my neighborhood looking for the key to my own safety. It's all because of one of the programs I hate, infomercials. Nothing pisses me off more than seeing that damn paid programming instead of an actual title. No info, no story. Just some 2-bit host selling America its next top useless gadget. What made this infomercial so much different from all the others wasn't so much what they were advertising, but how they were advertising it. I remember it was roughly 15 minutes long and was aired late at night, like how most infomercials are. More and more as hours pass, questions pop into my head. Recently, I asked myself, how did it air without struggle during the storm? Just a few minutes ago, I asked myself, who would put that up for the cable company to air? And how did it even air on my TV? My mind can never stay at rest, I swear. I remember it was about a month ago. I was up late during one of those humid summer nights. I think it was around 3 a.m. and it was storming out. Since I'm sitting on my gradually fattening ass in front of the TV, I start to get a little annoyed at the searching for signal message played for prolonged periods of time. And when it did disappear, it was only temporary, and sometimes all that would play would be one of those digital glitches of whatever was playing at that moment. Then it went right back to searching for the goddamn signal. I was growing tired of the silence of the television. I mean, I wanted to hear cars crashing from those caught-on-tape shows, the incoherent screams of an audience at a pro wrestling event, or hell, even the laugh of SpongeBob and Patrick. I picked up my remote, hidden in the nooks and crannies of the slowly aging and breaking recliner I was sitting in. I hit the guide button to see what was playing on one of the other channels I normally watch. Most of the titles were gone because of the storm, and the satellite was still trying to collect data. And I was starting to get fed up with the cable. I was going to turn it off and just go straight to bed, but after scrolling up one more page, I saw text in a program box. Alright, I thought to myself. Well, that alright quickly turned into a for fuck's sakes. The program that I thought I was going to see was titled Paid Programming. I humored myself. Most of the other channels I watch were still glitchy and gathering data. I mean, I'd rather try to watch something I didn't like so much without the glitches than the best show ever and miss all the greatest parts because of glitches. Rolling my eyes, I hit the box with the words paid programming to see the info and channel, which also sparks some more questions. The info for paid programming wasn't what was usually in the info for infomercials, which was usually the title itself repeated. The info said, "Supplies are running out." Not only did the words create an odd and curious atmosphere, but they also gave me this weird feeling of deja vu. You know, that feeling where you feel like you've been there before, experienced this at some point. Though, I couldn't be sure of anything at the moment. My mind then went to the channel after it was done trying to figure out the info. The channel name and number were ones I hadn't seen before. The number of the channel was 73, if I recall correctly, which I don't ever remember ordering, or even watching. What was even odder was its name. ASKY. What the hell does this channel stand for? Why am I seeing this now? More questions. As if I need more to comprehend. Eventually all the thinking grew tiresome. I didn't want to think. I just wanted to fry a few brain cells staring at some host make an ass out of himself trying to make cash off a few stupid products that most normal people wouldn't even have a use for. The program was only 15 minutes long. It was scheduled to air at 3:15 and end at 3:30. Not having many other choices, I highlighted the block and pressed select on the remote. Static. That's all that it was. All that was there was fucking static. What little hopes I had of seeing something, anything, dropped like a dumbbell. But wait, what? Static. Now that I think of it, satellite TV doesn't even show static. It only shows the searching for signal message. Ugh. Anyways, it went on for about 2 minutes, and I just sat there gazing into it. I hoped that my mind would somehow entertain me and show me a face on the screen. Something. Anything just to fuck with me, I guess. I was getting desperate. When I was about to turn off the TV and call it a night, the loud white noise stopped, and a sound on the TV that I very faintly remembered played in my head, like I knew it from somewhere. More deja vu, more shit to think about. I focused my attention back onto the TV. It appeared to be a bog or a swamp of some sort being displayed in the screen. Bullfrogs' booming croaks could be heard. Dragonflies could be seen as well as lily pads and dirty, muddy water. I took more notice of the scenery because it seemed to hold a sacred place in my mind. I paid no attention to the mumbles of the voices in the background of the shot. It was 3:18 when an Indonesian man stepped in front of the camera. Finally, I thought, something was going to happen. Only to be bullshitted again. For another minute, he was talking to somebody outside the shot, and seeing as how the camera shook a little bit during the response to the man in front of the camera, I figured it was the cameraman being spoken with. The man in front of the camera turned away from the screen to his right, left from my perspective, and yelled at something. The yell was full of rage, like he said something hostile or violent. Maybe it was a threat? At 3:19, the man spoke with a heavy accent, so heavy most people wouldn't even be able to understand what he was saying. I have no idea how, but I was able to decipher what the man was trying to say, most of it anyway. He started. "Good evening. We have yet again our high-quality product available for sale. Stay tuned to watch us perform 3 tests with it to show how top quality it is." What the fuck are they selling? I thought to myself. The host made a motion with his hand and said, "Come here." His hand gestured to his left. At 3:20, a large alligator appeared. It had jagged and rough-looking skin, and its teeth looked like they were sharpened with a hard mineral. It was like something out of a horror movie. It didn't really seem that creepy, though, because of all the deja vu moments I was having. I felt like this could very well be a part of them. At 3:21, the host said, "Okay, first we will test the quality of this creature's skin." Somebody off camera handed the host something. After the host brought it into the view of the camera, we could see that it was a sharp serrated blade. With absolutely no expression of fear whatsoever, the host casually walks up to the gator like it's a domesticated pet. My heart sank as he began to saw at the skin of the gator. Very oddly, and to my prediction of what was about to happen, the alligator just lays down and takes it. Like it's a normal thing. The host finishes up at 3:23 and says, "See, not one scratch is left on the skin." And he was telling the truth. Not one scratch could be found. I was almost impressed by it. We seem to be running out of time. So, we shall begin the other two tests at the same time, using the same subject, he said, with a yellow smile. We shall test the cutting capability of the teeth and the power of the jaw. He backed away from the camera, looked to his right, and screamed. He makes a quick and violent gesture for whatever it is to get where he was at. More screaming could be heard off screen, and the host got fed up and walked towards the source of the scream. At 3:25, the host marched back into the shot with someone over his shoulder, fighting him to be let down. It appeared to be a teenage girl. She had on muddy jeans and a long-sleeved shirt. She wasn't from anywhere the infomercial was being filmed. She had no accent and, in fact, looked and sounded American. What should have been a shock for me was simply more of an indifference. I kept my poker face. The host was having trouble controlling the girl and gestured for the help of the cameraman. The camera shook, and a fat man emerged, wearing a dirtied shirt with khaki shorts. The cameraman picked up the girl's head by her hair and hit her right in the face with a hard haymaker. The sound of the blow was impressive. It was enough to cause her to go limp, for the moment anyway. It seemed to make things a lot easier for the host and cameraman, as they simply threw her towards the direction of the alligator. And that's when my heart dropped a little bit. The alligator didn't waste any time. As soon as the girl landed, with a thud, the alligator bit at her and consumed her entire arm. She began screaming and sobbing uncontrollably, and soon, the screaming and sobbing turned into gurgling. I thought I saw blood coming out of her mouth. The alligator let go of her arm and dug into her neck, like it was a feast. Then, the alligator went from her neck to her head and began to consume it whole. The cracking and crushing sound of the skull made me flinch a little. From there, it went to the torso and began to consume her whole. At 3:28, there wasn't even a corpse left for the alligator to tear at. Body pieces were all over the swampy ground. Even the nearby water had a faint red tint to it. The camera then went back to the host, who said nothing. He just stared into the camera. He stared through the TV. He stared into my very soul. The stare is what sent chills down my spine. It's like he was watching me, waiting for me to move or say something. And when I did move, his eyes followed. And this continued until 3:29, when he said, "Order it soon, because we're running low on supplies." Even while saying that, he held that soul-piercing stare. Then, the channel went back to static, and the infomercial was gone. From then on, I couldn't sleep as well as I used to. Whenever I closed my eyes, I saw his. When my eyes were open, I saw his entire face. It was happening so often that I considered learning how to live with it. Eventually, I saw him on the television again. His entire face with the stare would be on it for 5 minutes, then would cut to regular programming. I was starting to get pissed off with it, and I didn't want to see his face anymore. I ended up tossing the whole satellite receiver and started to forget about him. However, in the small sewers of my deepest system of thought, I had to go over the questions. I had to ask why I was so sick of seeing the host's face. Did I not want to see him because of his stare on the screen that I despised so much? Or was it because he gave me that stare in the past and said, "We're low on supplies, so help me with this girl, or our restock will be instant"? It creeps me out what he threatened. And it creeps me out even more that someone was watching us.